You're now live. Happy Saturday!
Hello.
Welcome to HLC Bookkeeping and Office Services Saturday Solutions. We get together at 2 o'clock every Saturday, regardless of where we are. We talk about things that are related and relevant to where you live, work, and worship. And we give you helpful topics, tips and tricks, share experiences, that sort of thing. So today we have 3 exciting topics to talk about, of course. And last week we had mentioned that we might be on site, but unfortunately things are still on back order. So we're waiting so we can be on site maybe next week. We'll find out. We'll find out. But anyways, so I just wanted to say welcome. And we hope you find this worthwhile. Don't be afraid to talk about us. We actually like it when people talk about us. So good or bad, I can take it. I'm an adult. It's all good. We can deal with it. So Krista is going to cover our stuff from last week, our helpful information. I shouldn't call it stuff. It's helpful information that we are sharing for you.
They're solutions.
Yeah. And
they're
all
solutions.
Yeah, and it's good for us too because it helps remind us of things. Because as business owners, you can kind of get stuck. We're going to talk about that, and it kind of helps open up different pathways, different visions, that sort of thing.
I remember that.
Yep.
All right. So I'm Krista Rue. I don't know if we introduced ourselves.
Did we? I don't know.
So. She just started talking. I can't remember.
Which is what I do.
Yeah. And this is HLC Bookkeeping Office Services.
We were HLC, but I don't think I said who we were.
Yeah. So I'm Krista.
Christina.
All right. There you go.
Yes, we're twins.
All right. So last week was Off the Bookshelf, and we talked about Steve Chow's book, which is Walk Through God's Word. Because again, you have to renew yourself, not only business-wise, personally, but spiritually as well. And that was one that I love. He does daily devotions, and it's just, I love his perspective. Mm-hmm. Very common sense, straightforward.
Yep.
Then we also talked about knowing when to stop when something is not working.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also did some clarification on the employee retention credit since the IRS put a pause on processing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So I have that here, which it fell over because it's exhausted. It's been working very hard.
Well, we're going to talk about that number 3, so it can stay laying down till we talk about it.
Okay. I don't it was and I'm done.
It's done.
Yeah, but it's not.
Right. So last week we also talked about, because I'm a data person, so when we talked about knowing when to stop, how do you assess that? How do you know it's the right decision to stop? And one of the tools we use is the SWOT, SWOT analysis. And that stands for strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threat. The purpose of the SWOT analysis, this is what we put on our little thing, is
when we do a seminar.
Right, is to pinpoint items that should be central to the future planning of the organization. Planning for the future requires an assessment of where you came from, where you are, and where are you going?
Yeah, 3 very important tracks.
And that's how this should be viewed. This analysis consists of the main departments broken down into subordinate categories. You're going to delve in there, people. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be so superficial.
It's messy.
Yes.
Messy. I love it.
And you're going to talk to employees and vendors and everyone associated with your business.
Yep. And you can't be afraid to hear the negative. Negative makes us stronger. So don't be afraid of the negative, because nobody's perfect.
No.
Somebody's going to have issues with the way you do something. You just have to determine if they're valid issues.
That's correct. Yeah. And then one of the things we do is once we've done the SWOT analysis for our clients, we then give them a roadmap of here's what we determined needs addressed. And here's the time frame it should be addressed in.
Correct.
Because some things are like, whoa, 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 big problem. This has to be dealt with now. Some other things are like, you know what? We're in our busy season. That can wait till we get to our slow season.
Yep. And
we'll address it then.
So you have to know how to prioritize.
Right. You have to know your business deeply. So one of the first things I do, again, we're going to talk about strengths. And remember, strengths is internal to your business. So this is you looking at your business, period. And you're going to look at everything. Everything. So I look at first what I call the visitor perspective, where when you first walk into the building, what does it say about you? So that means you're going to look at your signage. You're going to look at your doors. You're going to look at the outside of the building. Does it need paint? Do you need a new roof? Do you need new signage? You know, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Because guess what? If it's a good thing, it's a strength. But if it's a bad thing, it's a weakness. So you're sort of starting to put things
the sorting
in that
process.
Yes, you're sorting category wise. So, and some of the other things you want to look for, you have to think beyond. So like, this is my facility. Does it fit me now? Because sometimes people are in too small of a space.
Right.
It's just,
we outgrew our space.
Yeah, we outgrew our space.
Simple.
So we had to go to a different space.
Yeah.
So remember, we're looking at this where we are now, or where we were in the past, where we are now, and where we're in the future. So we're in this nice space, but 5 years from now, if I'm planning to upscale my business and I want to hire 5 more employees, does that work?
Yep.
Or will I need another new space?
Do you have room to grow? New locations, that sort of thing?
Right. All of that. So like, that's just the general overview of when you walk in, you look at the building, what does it needs addressed, that type of thing. And then the next thing I look at is personnel.
And again, people get nervous.
They
because
do.
If they know you're doing like an analysis or like, what are they looking for? So like, this is where you can do the secret diner SWOT.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I did that a lot.
Yeah. Versus let's just tell everybody everything.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes people get very nervous and you don't want to cause stress, because this is about you looking at your business and doing the analysis. So, but we do encourage you then bring them on board.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What Christine is talking about specifically, I work with hospitality. So a lot of restaurants. So like, as part of this process, we would have a secret diner.
Yep.
Someone
send people in.
Would go in as a guest to the facility and have an experience.
And even our client didn't know who they were.
Our client didn't know who they were. The employees definitely didn't know who they were. They didn't know when they were coming. You know, they don't announce, hey, I'm here to evaluate you. No, it's what does the average person, what's my experience? And I like to do it 3 different times. I like to do it on the busy time, the slow time, and then if there was a problem at one of them, revisit. All right.
Revisit, see if it was an anomaly.
That's right.
Or not.
Because again, this is where I'm learning strengths and weaknesses.
And I was going to say too, because there's a lot of shows on TV now of professionals coming in and helping a business that's in crisis or not doing as well as they could have, help them improve move forward.
Right.
And there's different approaches. And like sometimes these approaches are so demeaning and negative
Yes.
to both the owner and the employee. And it
This is
doesn't
not
have to be.
a bad process.
It's not a gotcha moment.
No, this is where are we and how do we improve?
Exactly.
That's it.
That's it.
Like, I'm not someone, when I come in as a consultant, I'm not going to dwell in your past because I can't change it.
Mhm.
I can only change the now and the future.
Correct.
I need to understand the history.
Mhm.
I need to understand what has come before, especially like, say, from a personnel point of view.
Mhm.
Say you're having an employee revolt because the owner fired the manager, which all the employees loved.
Mhm.
So why? Well, it could be that manager was fired because he wasn't doing things correctly, and the employee might not understand that. So it could be a matter of retraining your current employees, or it could just be you have a bad bunch of employees. You need to know that. Because one apple can spoil the whole bunch. I've seen it many times.
Mhm.
But I've also seen where you have a good, solid, conscientious manager who just wasn't trained correctly.
Mhm.
Then that's the owner's failing, not the employees. And you have to be brutal enough to say that and recognize that.
Yep. Yeah. So if you're going to do the audit internally, basically the SWOT
Right.
by yourself, you have to
have to
make
be
sure.
honest.
Can you be fair? Can you be impartial? Can you see what you need to see, or do
Right.
you need to have somebody else do it?
Right. And then you also need to be looking at your sales/marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Address that area. What are my strengths
Mm-hmm.
of that area? Do I have a plan?
Yeah.
You should be, and a lot of people don't do this because they're like, oh, it takes so much time. Yes, it does. To plan takes time. But you should have a marketing strategy.
Yes.
So like you should have multiple touches. That's what it's called in the biz.
The
touches, because people are inundated with information.
Yes.
It used to be you have to be in front of someone 5
to
different
7
ways
times. Yeah.
before they'll like make a decision.
Do you know how many it is now?
I don't, but I know it's time it was like 15.
It's 12 to 14 times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like you have to have a plan for that. If you're in a service-based industry and you want people to notice you, how are you doing it? Do you have a really good plan? Like, are you to the point, I don't need to advertise anymore. I have enough. Great. Strength.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right. Now, It is 12 minutes into the broadcast.
Yeah. See this? I get very excited because this is the fun stuff.
You should probably take the seminar if you want more.
Yes,
info.
probably.
Yeah.
So strengths. Look at your strengths. And during that process, you're going to find your weaknesses, start to notate them. Because then when you get to the W part, you're going to delve deeper.
Correct.
But if you come upon a weakness during a strength, you're still focused on strengths.
Correct. But you're notating it to review later.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
We'll talk about weaknesses next week.
That was very exciting.
It was very exciting. I love this.
It is.
All right. So then number 2 was a change in direction.
Yeah, because what the SWOT might bring to light is that you have to have some sort of change. And it might be...
And it could be just a little one.
It could be a little
massive.
one. Or it could be major.
Right.
So how are you
Or you might need steps to change.
And
because people don't just go.
Exactly. So you
Sometimes
need to have a plan then. Once you get all that information and that I'm going to have to tweak this, but this is going to be a major thing. Like maybe your facility it just needs updated.
Right.
So that's going to take some capital expenses and you don't have the money now. And
So
loan rates are way too high
Right.
and whatever. So if you want to cash roll it yourself, you got to up your income. So then you now have money that you can spend to do that.
Which now affects your sales and marketing plan.
Correct.
Do you see how we're all starting to work together?
It all ties together.
That's right.
So and this is why it's so important to know what change you need that's going to have the most value for you in your business. Because you can come up with 100 things that you want to change.
Right.
But what's best for your business?
Right.
Not what would make it nice if your office was painted. Who sees your office? You know what I mean? Like if you're front of the house, back of the house, nobody ever sees your office. Do that on a Saturday.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's not where you spend most of your time. So you got to prioritize the changes,
That's
big and
correct.
small. And then if you've notated a big change has to occur, what's your value? And time, talent, treasure. Is it something you can do with the people you have in place now? Are you going to have to hire out?
And is this something you're going to need buy-in from your staff?
Exactly.
So like you might have to do it incrementally, but like you have to keep lines of communication open.
Yeah.
They are here too. Sometimes people are with their staff more than their family.
I was just going to say, for instance, if you have somebody who's wearing 17 different hats and you're mad because they're not efficient, it's because they're wearing 17 different hats. Right. So what is that person's true strength that you can put them in the right place to help them succeed as well as you?
And not frustrate everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. So like these are just little things you really need to kind of watch for when you do this. And then if there's a change, it's not like, okay, we're just going to change it. You have to have a culture that's open to that change.
Right. And if it's not, you have to work on it becoming open to that change.
Correct. Yeah. So just little things. Now we used restaurants as an example because that's
and
20 years
you
of
don't
your
work
life.
with robots. You work with people who have feelings.
Exactly.
So you want to address it in that manner.
Yep.
All right. But again, you're the owner. It's your decision. And if you have an employee who truly disagrees with the direction you're taking it, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And I've actually said this to employee, look, this is the decision we've made. I want you to be a part of the process. But if you honestly feel you can't, I'll be more than happy to write you a recommendation letter. Because I don't want them there turning people against my process. And they also need to know I'm serious about this.
Correct.
You know, but if you have to make a change, you have to make a change.
Yep. So there's just things to think about because as you go into the analysis side of your business, nothing stays stagnant.
That's right.
So there will be changes, whether it's big or small, and how your group reacts to that can make or break sometimes a change. So just, you got to keep all that in mind.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. All right. And then third, this is one of your favorite things. Is strategic partners.
Okay, people. So let's talk. We do strategic partnerships with people who maybe I don't have the skill set personally to do what they do, but I know my clients need it. Okay. So I'm always on the lookout. Always. You'll see that was in the topic. Always on the lookout for strategic partners. That's not only going to help my business, but it's going to help the clients and the businesses I serve. So we create strategic partnerships with tax professionals because
we don't do taxes.
We don't do taxes.
But we do everything up to that point.
Correct. So like we have created strategic partnerships that allow us then to refer our clients if they don't come in with an accountant of their own. Right. And we have used partnerships for marketing. We've used partnerships for
financial planning
for
owners.
Correct.
I don't do
and retirement planning for owners.
Right.
We have strategic partners that we keep a list of who we refer people.
Insurance companies.
Yeah.
Because you always need insurance people.
Yep. And then we kept hearing in small business about how high health insurance is for companies who want to do it. So we found a strategic partner through ACN and Impact Health Share that we can now bring to the table. Well, have you looked at this? Is this someplace we can save money? Is this someplace where we can budget information and your people still get the good health care? So like, we're always on the lookout for ways we can help our clients. So you as the business owner, as the employee, as the person, whether even if you're a church, you're always looking for good
That's right.
resources for your people. Because I know in our church, we get phone calls from people who need help. Do I know the women's shelter? Do I know where the food bank sets up so the people can get that? Or do I even know just community related events?
Mhm.
Like, are you part of your Chamber of Commerce? That's a strategic partner as well, because they're helping you, number one, get exposure. Number two, they're providing you resources for other people who could then become resources for your business and yourself, both professionally and personally.
Right.
So
Because there's a lot of times people, they don't need us personally, but they need someone I know.
correct.
And if I become a resource for them, they're more than likely to share my information for someone who does need me.
Correct.
So it's not just about helping future clients, existing clients. It's helping anyone.
Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
If people need help, help.
Exactly.
If you have the skill set to help or the network to do it,
That's it. And that's why I'm always telling people you have to have resources. Like, I feel like, I don't know, like when I'm always listening, what was that you said? You need a Mary Kay lady? Got one. What was that you said? You need an accountant? Got one.
Got 17.
Yeah. Correct. So like, these are little things that you can help the people in your life, because it's not all about us, people.
It's not.
Sometimes I feel like
It's
I'm a
just
little too selfish.
Make the world better, however you can.
Exactly. So if you hear that there's a need and you can provide a resource, why wouldn't we do that?
Exactly.
Even if you just need a pampering day.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go?
Mm-hmm.
Diamond Venue Salon down in Pittsburgh. Grant Building.
Legacy right up the road.
Exactly. I mean, there's tons of places that you can go that will help you. And like, I joined the Women's Business Network. They're a big networking thing for me. I've helped people in there get referrals, and they've given me referrals.
That's right.
Jeanette Business Association, my local place, Norwin Chamber of Commerce,
Westmoreland Chamber
of Commerce, a little bit bigger. So like, you can always find people to resource with. That's what I think I'm going to cut. Instead of networking, let's resource people. Let's resource.
All right. We're so over. But this was an exciting one. Because these are things, they can change your life. It will change your life if you take this stuff seriously. All right. And again, this is for anyone. Owners, or managers, or people who want to be an owner or who want to be a manager. These are things you have to take into account. And sometimes they've stopped teaching this stuff in college, which is very frustrating.
Even in high school, they don't even have home economics anymore. And kids are coming out of school, they don't know how to work a checkbook. Come on. We have to do better than that.
That's right. That's right. All right. We're off our high horse. But we'll see you next week.
We are higher today because I changed the vision, the look. So like, we've been lifted up.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and I hope you found this worthwhile.
Yep.
See you next Saturday.
Have a blessed Saturday. Be the sunshine, even if it's not
It's so rainy out.
I know.
Bye.